I welcome you to Unity San Jose. I'm David DeLulo. We call this a service, but I've been calling it a spiritual practice lately because it is a yummy spiritual practice where we get so many spiritual practices in one. I am so happy to have Reverend Verona Garland here and Jesse Powers streaming from Ohio. Margie is our Zoom tech and she'll do the readings. I will do the meditation. Announcements are by Linda and prayer is by Denise. And since they say that singing is praying twice, why don't we open up, Jesse, with a song by you? I'm going to spotlight you. So welcome.
Hello. I just invite everybody to take a deep breath with me and drop in here into this beautiful moment. And you're welcome to sing if you catch on to the words, or just enjoy this little affirmative chant. I know, there's no need to worry. I know, there's no need to doubt. I know, there's nothing to figure out. I know, there's no need to worry. I know, there's no need to doubt. I know, there's nothing to figure out. I know, there's no need to worry. I know, there's no need to doubt. I know, there's nothing to figure out. Ooh, open the door. Open the door, open the door to my heart. Open the door, open the door, open the door to my heart. I know, there's no need to worry. I know, there's no need to doubt. I know, there's nothing to figure out. Oh, I know, there's no need to worry. Oh, I know, there's no need to doubt. I know, there's nothing to figure out. Open the door, open the door, open the door to my heart.
I love that chant, Jesse. I'm going to share my screen for our meditation. Oh, I just love this picture, just grounding ourselves in nature. It's said that it's been studied that you can actually retrieve the benefits, receive the benefits of nature simply by imagining or looking at a picture of nature. I don't know if it's the full benefit, but isn't it interesting how we can do that? And so I'm looking at the elements. All the elements are captured here. And as I gaze at this picture, I just gently put the picture in my mind's eye, just bringing that picture into my imagination as I breathe into this welcoming sanctuary that we're co-creating together. I can feel the energy of everyone in this community. So maybe begin by setting an intention for yourself for the next short hour. Just a simple intention, whatever that is for right now, for this very moment. And as you breathe, become more and more relaxed with each breath, trusting as we fall into the arms of God together, the God of our understanding, whatever you call God. God is both personal and principle. We're just falling into the arms of that right now. And as Jesse was singing, I know there's no need to worry. I know there's no need to worry because I'm blessed and I'm guided by divine intelligence with each breath. And I know there's no need to doubt. There's no need to doubt because I'm truly blessed. And I'm guided by divine intelligence in this moment and all my future moments. Every part of me, conscious and subconscious, is guided. All the parts of my nervous system, all the cells, all the organs, my emotional response to things, my emotional intelligence is guided. And I allow my thinking to be guided. And as Jesse's saying, I know there's nothing to figure out. There's nothing to figure out, especially as we sink into the nowness of this moment. It's all here, including the answers. And we just have to just ask and seek and knock on the door of those answers. Just opening up our hearts because all those answers are within us. So I know I don't need to worry. Taking a deep breath. I know I don't need to doubt. Taking a deep breath and letting it go. I know I know there's nothing to figure out. So I can savor this moment. I can relax into this moment. I can trust into this moment. I can enjoy this moment. Feeling the sacred connection of everyone in this sanctuary. And I invite just the feeling of that harmonic vibration to just wash over you as we just go into the silence for about a minute. So I know that all these ideas, this harmonic vibration, and maybe even our intentions are all about love. Nothing is empty. So I'm so grateful for today. I'm so grateful for the insight, the music, the intentions of everyone in this room. I'm so grateful for this chance to be in spiritual practice here called Unity San Jose. I slowly open my eyes and bring myself into this room. And so it is. And Margie, I'm going to spotlight you for our readings today.
Thank you. Today's reading is adapted by David from the Unity Daily Word. Wherever I travel in life, divine guidance is always mine. I don't need to search outside myself for it. I only need to turn within. Maybe I have an important decision to make. I have asked for advice from my friends and family, but the answers still seem unclear. My mind keeps me awake at night with so many thoughts. Then I remember guidance has been available to me all along. Soon I let go of trying to find the answer through human channels and turn my attention to the voice of spirit. I trust I am moving in the direction of my highest good and have everything I need inside me to get there. And so it is. Please join me in our opening affirmation. There is only one power and one presence active in the universe and in my life. God in everything and everyone. The one infinite source of love, abundance, harmony, wholeness, intelligence, and joy is expressing as me.
Thank you so much, Margie. So Reverend Verona, we welcome you again, and I'm so looking forward to your topic today, which I summarize as all good. And I am going to spotlight you. Let's give a warm Zoom welcome to Reverend Verona.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's always such a wonderful blessing to be here with you. Thank you for the warm Zoom welcome. I love it that we have this technology so that we can be together miles and miles apart. Jesse's over in another part of the United States. I'm up north from where you are, and it's such a blessing. So today's title that came through me is Hear All Good, See All Good, Know All Good. However, before we get into our co-creation here together, because I may be the one that David spotlighted. However, we are co-creating here together. Nothing that I say or bring is the same without the presence of every single one of us here. Every single one of us is co-creating this practice, as David called it, this practice and this celebration together. I would like to start, though, with a little giggle, a little joke. I like to always start with a little joke. For me, sometimes I take my enlightenment to a depth of seriousness that is not necessary. And so I get to remind myself that there, on the coin of the divine, there's the seriousness for me and enlightenment, and then there's the silliness and the giddiness, and it's for all of us. So here's our little giggle for today. A stranger approached the minister after service and said, "I'd like you to pray for my hearing." So the minister or the pastor, whatever you want to call him, went into full-scale prayer. Okay, put their hands over the person's ears and just prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed. You know, spiritual mind treatment out, all the prayers, everything. And so when the minister or the pastor got done, they said to the person, "Well, how's your hearing now?" Took the hands off. "How's your hearing now?" And the person said, "Well, it's not until tomorrow, but I sure appreciate the effort of that prayer." Yeah, so it's just the silliness of life. So what is good? And I love it, David, that you said all good, because that's what this is about. Yeah. Oh, David, you said boo. Oh, well, sometimes it's a little tickle, sometimes not. So what is good? So we can be on the same page. For one thing, good is God. God and good are interchangeable words for me. However, if we want to get in the dictionary and see what is good, good is kind, valuable. It can be known as kind, valuable, loyal, agreeable, pleasing, and beneficent. Okay, so, and you probably have some ideas what good are within yourself. Just take a second and let yourself know, well, what do I think is good? Or what do I feel is good? Or what is good for me? Because we all have our own perspective, our own reflections, and our own way of looking at it. So these things, hear all good, see all good, know all good. I went to, all right, these words, hear, see, know. What are they about? And as I said, there, or maybe I didn't, but we know there is no duality in spirit, and also spirit, God, Allah, Buddha, Olodumare, Adonai, whatever words you'd like to use, we know it's the presence and the power. So there is always all different ways to look at the qualities of the divine or what spirit is in our lives. So the first word, hear all good. So to hear is, of course, to listen and to heed. However, in our day-to-day lives, or in my day-to-day life, sometimes I'm not hearing. Sometimes I am in a place of deafness, or I have no sense feeling of hearing. I don't know about you, but I have been in conversations where I am not hearing, and the person can be saying a bunch of things to me, and I think it's okay because I'm going, oh yeah, until this individual might say to me, "Verona, why did you answer in that way?" What I said did not require that answer. So what I'm saying is we can be in a hearing mode, or we can be in a non-hearing mode. It's just, this is all about, we are all at choice. We all get to choose about this. Hear all good, see all good, know all good. We are all in the hearing, all in our own choice mode, which is what our life, the life of spirit that's leading itself in, through, and as each one of us is really about. It's about choice. So how about seeing all good? And to see, the definitions that I chose for to see is to view, to ascertain, to understand spiritually or emotionally, or to consider. So the seeing is a little bit different than the hearing. I mean, of course, we know it uses different faculties in our body temples. However, the seeing can be just to ascertain something. The seeing can have to do with my perspective on life, your perspective on life, our perspective on life, just to be able to ascertain. Also, the seeing can also bring into ascertaining the feeling tone of something. I mean, so it's a little bit, it goes a little bit deeper, and it's a little bit more, the physicality of it for me, the seeing. So the other one, the third one, know all good, and seeing all good is also a perception idea. Knowing all good, to know, I love this, what definitions showed up when I looked them up. I researched them. They're not just all in my head here. Well, yeah, they are in the divine mind. However, the divine mind sent me to the dictionary. To know all good is to be cognizant, to be aware of, acquainted with, and clear perception. So you know that saying that we metaphysicians say all the time, I know that I know that I know that I know. And that saying to me is really completely hooked to the other saying, I'm willing to be willing to be willing to be willing, because I may know something, but I may require a willingness for myself to actually truly sink into it, to drop deep into it, to actually really know. And in the knowing, of course, we can have the other side of knowing. We can misinterpret things, or even in the knowing, I can experience forgetfulness. That is to say, I know something and then I don't know that I know it. And I'm not talking about what we hear on the news and on PBS all the time now about memory loss. I'm just saying that that is something that I might misinterpret, or I forget that I know. You know, I could forget that I know how to get from point A to point B, and it doesn't have anything to do with my brain. It's just, oh, I didn't think about it until I thought about it. So that's the other part about knowing. So it's hear all good, see all good, know all good. And in honor of Arab American Appreciation Month, I found a quote that says, from Khalil Gibran, that says, your living is determined not so much by what happens to you as by the way your mind looks at what happens. Yeah, your living is not so much determined by what happens to you as by the way your mind looks at what happens. And I'd like to add in the way you hear what happens, the way you see what happens, and that his quote fits into what you know what happens. So I want to share with you a story that I know about, and I so enjoy it. And yeah, it's about all these things: hearing, seeing, knowing, all good, or the good. Now that I'm putting the all good in, David, that you put in, so knowing good. However, it's also about perception in our lives and what we decide is good. So years ago, the codfish industry in the northeast coast of the United States had a problem transporting their fish across country. Yes, I know we're Californians. Yes, I know we probably wouldn't eat fish that was transported across country knowingly. However, that's what this is about. They had a challenge moving their fish around. And so when they sent the fish frozen, the fish lost flavor. And when they sent the fish live in saltwater tanks, it got mushy and soft. So a solution was to be had. And so what they came up with is that something I didn't know, the catfish is the natural enemy of the codfish. And so they put the codfish in saltwater tanks and threw catfish in with them. And so during the transportation, there was a lot of activity going on, a lot of movement going on, a lot of activity. However, what happened was that the codfish arrived in much better shape. They arrived better flavor. They arrived no more mushiness, no more lost flavor. Now, I'm sure in this story that some of them arrived after having made their transition because the catfish were in there with them. I'm not saying that they didn't. However, the majority, this is a story that I researched, the majority of them arrived much better in a completely different condition. And you're probably now saying, so what's that got to do with hear all good, see all good, know all good? In the life of spirit that we are all living, we may have some catfish in our lives. We may have something in our lives that doesn't appear to be good. We may have something that is a part of our lives that I might envision it as, well, how could this be good? Well, it is good because it's all good, because it's all God. It's all good. It's all God. Even if I happen to have a catfish in my life. And the important part about this is, as I said up front, we get to choose. We are an absolute choice to hear all good, see all good, know all good. We get to choose. And I'm not going to go with we, I'm going to go with the I message. I get to choose what I consider to be good. I get to know that as I'm considering what's good, everything can be good. You know, as I'm considering, I don't know, let's just use something that just happened to me today. As I'm going to my refrigerator and see that I have spinach in there that I haven't used and it needs to be used today. And instead of me saying to myself, well, I guess I wasted that spinach. I guess I'm contributing to the greenhouse gases in the United States of America or on the planet. Instead, what I could say to myself was, okay, let's make a smoothie and put that spinach in there. All right, and use it up, you know. So when I went in there to look this morning and saw kind of wilted spinach, it's about choice. It was about me choosing, well, what is good? What is good and what is not good? So the ways that there's a lot of ways that we can allow ourselves to do this. However, there are spiritual practices, as you know, just like David said, we're a practice here together. There are several spiritual techniques. I love it that we have spiritual technology that we can use now, because that's what it is. So several spiritual techniques that we can use in any situation that we might think it has our catfish in it, or we can know that it is our catfish and it's for our highest and best good. So the first way we can do this is to accept and expect all good. There's Ernest Holmes' quote that says, "Today I accept and expect only good. I am one with God, and God is one with me." So that first one, accept and expect all good, in my way of looking at it, then this is acquiescence of the mind, not the divine mind, but acquiescence of the human mind within us. I can accept and expect. I can just accept that it's all good and expect that it's all good, and even say that as my affirmation, know that as my life. I accept and expect all good today. And so that everything that shows up, even if it shows up wrapped up in the sandpaper of life, it is still good. It still shows up in my life as good, and I get to embrace it and embody it as good. First spiritual technique. Second spiritual technique, praise and thanksgiving. Praise and thanksgiving. And that praise and thanksgiving to me is finding joy in everything. I praise whatever it is, and not be in gratitude for it, but be in thanksgiving for it. Difference? Gratitude may be, I'm grateful for something that's already happened. Thanksgiving is, I am grateful for something that I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I still have thanksgiving for it. So the second one, just praise and thanksgiving. It's all good. It's all God. I hear all good. I see all good. I know all good. That's another spiritual technique. And the third spiritual technique is believe and consent. I've been reading a lot of Neville Goddard recently. He's so wonderful. And in his book, The Power of Awareness, he says, the world manifests our concepts. We can arrange our mind in the image of all that I believe and consent to as true. Yeah, I can arrange my mind and the image of all I believe and consent to as true. So that's the third technique. Believe and consent. Believe and consent. Believe that it's happening and consent to it's happening. I believe this is happening and I consent to it showing up for me. I believe that when I fill my car up with gas, it's going to go farther than I ever thought, and I consent to it. I give consent to it. And if I had an EV car, then I would say when I plug it in, it's going to go farther. I happen to have a gas automobile right now. So that's the other spiritual tool is believe and consent. So in my own life, I realize that a lot of these tools or spiritual techniques or spiritual technology that has words like these, accept and expect, praise and thanksgiving, believe and consent, is a moving function and a practice in the life of spirit that leads itself as me and as you, as all of us. So how this is showing up in my life, I recently was looking at a Bible verse that said, I know in whom I have believed. And so this Bible verse, how it showed up for me, I know in whom I have believed. In the family of origin that I am from, there has been, in my family of origin and the family that I made, I have 2 adult children, there has been a lot of consternation and a lot of disharmony. And my 2 siblings, my children who are siblings. And it gave me an opportunity to feel and think that I am upset. However, when I use these 3 spiritual techniques, actually, first I accepted and expected. I accepted that my sibs and the other sibs appear to not be getting along, appear to want to say things to each other that have nothing to do with the truth, and appear to be stagnating a little in some unforgiveness. However, I decided I get to accept and expect. I got to accept what's going on with them, meet them where they are, and expect that the forgiveness and the compassion of the divine, it reigns supreme in their lives. Okay, so first thing. Second thing, and this has been going on, I don't know, 6 months, I want to tell you. Yeah, it's been going on a while. And the second thing was praise and thanksgiving. So I got to praise wherever each one of them was, of the four of them, got to praise where each one of them is or was. And I also got to give thanks. I got to find joy in every part of it. I got to be in a place of thanksgiving, giving thanks for the harmony that's already within them. That's the seeds planted, it's gestating, it's coming forth. Third one, believe and consent. And this was the one that was the most challenging for me, because I got to know that what I was seeing with my human mind, with my human eyes, and the human appearances, was that this was going to turn into a lifelong feud or a lifelong disengagement with one another. I got to really believe that there was something else in the midst. And I also got to believe, in the believing, I got to consent for myself to believe and know that harmony prevails. Okay, so this has been going on for about 6 months. Recently, my nephew got married. And so 2 of my sisters who were not speaking to each other, who live about 20 minutes from each other, who were not speaking to each other, both went to the wedding. And before they went to the wedding, I did not go to the wedding because they're having 2 weddings, and they invited me to the more fun wedding. Okay, so I said, oh, sure. And so what ended up happening was, I found out, of course, I was holding it in love, holding vigil during that exact time. I found out afterwards from my 2 sisters that they came to an understanding with one another of the love that's between them, the harmony that could be between them. And they came to an understanding of the fact that it's time for us to be in a place of compassion and forgiveness. We know how. We were raised with this knowing. And so those 2 are now amicable with one another. Okay, so this was 2 weekends ago. Last weekend, one of my children was coming in from another city. She had been there for a while, and I was picking her up at the airport. And when I picked her up, she's on her phone. And I got out of the car and said, get off of the phone, girl. I'm picking you up here. And she said, well, actually, I was talking to my brother. He called me to tell me that the things that had been going on between the 2 of us no longer needed to go on, and that we no longer needed to hold anything against one another. And even though he still had his ideas about how he feels about her or what kind of person she is, he called her to say, let's have some compassion and let's just step into some forgiveness for one another. She tells me this when she's getting into my car. Yeah. She gets in the car and we motor, and we was San Francisco, we motor home. So I didn't even, I wasn't, it always feels like a miracle. I'm always in awe. However, in these 2 instances, really, when I had said, Spirit, lead me, guide me, because this is my family. I love them, and I know they love each other. And it is for us to love one another and to bring our gifts and our talents and our skills out into the world on the planet. So these 3 things that came for me that now have words, and it's now spiritual technology: accept and expect, praise and thanksgiving, and believe and consent. So I would like to invite you to know in whom you have believed, or to know in whom you can believe, which we know that to be the Christ consciousness that's within, through, and as each one of us, and allow yourself to on the global frame of life, hear all good, see all good, know all good. I am complete.
Thank you, Rev Verona. Well, I didn't know what song I was going to sing here, but I got inspired by your talk. This song's called Let It Slide. I've been dragging my feet again, can't seem to get my mind on the right track. And it's been a couple of months now, and I keep hoping I'll get that high back. Why do I wake up to the sun and see only dark? Child, let it slide. There's a little piece of heaven right before your eyes. Child, give it up. 'Cause if you keep on keeping it, you're gonna miss so much in this life. Don't you remember that clarity that you were promising you'd never forget? Where is that in your mind now? Has it been crowded out by your bitterness? Oh, and you can't make people stay. You can only change yourself. Oh, and the sooner you let go, the sooner you make room for something else. Child, let it slide. There's a little piece of heaven right before your eyes. Child, give it up. 'Cause if you keep on keeping it, you're gonna miss so much in this life. And I know it hurts, and it's so much worse than you expected it would be. Good news, you can change it. Look around. There's no one here now. You are your only enemy. Yeah. Oh, child, let it slide. There's a little piece of heaven right before your eyes. Child, give it up. 'Cause if you keep on keeping it, you're gonna miss so much. Oh, if you keep on keeping it, you're gonna miss so much. Oh, if you keep on keeping it, you're gonna miss so much in this life.
Thank you, Jesse. Let's just take a moment in prayer, everyone. I'd like you to just focus on maybe one aspect of the messages today, and I'd like you to think about someone, something, some situation, some person, some aspect that is in need of prayer right now, some unresolved thing. I invite us to bring this into the field of our consciousness, seeing only good, despite appearances, seeing only good, seeing the resolution, just like the resolution with all of Verona's family members happened like that. It's possible. Making a way out of no way. So seeing only good and hearing only good and knowing only good, we can be a part of making that happen. First of all, in our consciousness, we can allow space for that to happen. So whoever it is that, and whatever it is that in you or in the world is in need of that consciousness, let's just bring that in, seeing only good. And I'd like to add to this prayer, seeing continued healing for Don, continued healing for Vivian's brother, continued healing for Audrey's knees, continued healing for Donna as she recovers, and whoever else you'd like to add into this prayer. Just know this is supported fully and unconditionally by everyone in this sanctuary. For this truth, for this wisdom, for this knowledge, for this spiritual technology, I'm so, so grateful. And so it is. And I'm going to share my screen where we are so grateful as we approach our 75th year anniversary that Unity San Jose continues to exist and thrive, and in honor of our spiritual home and its prosperity, please say with me, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that we are, all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. Our generous love offerings do good work in our community and beyond, and they are returned to us, multiplied abundantly. And Linda, I'm going to spotlight you for some brief announcements.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Well, thank you, Reverend Verona and Jesse, and thank you just doesn't seem to be enough for all the inspiration that you bring. We always look forward to having you back. Save the date of Friday, May 17th at 7:30 for an in-person gathering at our venue in Los Gatos. Please RSVP and tell us you are coming by responding to the link in our newsletter. Daniel Nahmod will be with us for an in-person concert on June 22nd at 7 p.m. And the ticket page will go up soon. Join us at our midweek gathering this Wednesday night at 7 p.m. This is based on journaling and sharing around 3 spiritual questions of the week. Unity is sustained by generous monthly donations like yours. To donate, just go to the donation page on our website. We are so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Sorry, I fell asleep at the slides there at the switch. Let's say our closing affirmation together before Jesse sings us out and Denise prays us out after that. So say with me, the light of God surrounds us. I am that light. The love of God enfolds us. I am that love. The power of God protects us. I am that power. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And back to you, Jesse, for one more song.
Yes. I've been playing this Eddie Watkins Jr. tune recently. Yeah! I love the enthusiasm, Rev Verona. All right, here we go. You probably all know it, so sing along. Take a look at the person next to you. Say God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary, in the Zoom room. Raise your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Raise your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, in every walk of life, every creed and color, can we reunite in honor of the good in each other? Take a look at the person next to you. Now we're going Eastern. Say namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Raise your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love.
All right, Jesse Powers. Thank you so much. I am putting myself in gallery mode view, and if you can do that on your particular system, I invite you to do the same. I was just thinking, I was inspired by Verona's talk from the very beginning, even just the stanza of seeing all good and knowing all good and hearing all good, and realizing that everything that I've been worrying about over the past week, I've had some things going on. Everything I worried about resolved. So as Jesse's song was saying, it's the same message. There's no need to worry. There's no need to figure things out. You know, we do our part, right? We can't stand in front of the, you know, the water praying for the water to turn on, right? We got to do our part, but that water is going to come out. And it's just this affirmation from the universe that we can, what if, instead of me having worried about all those things over the last 7 days, what if I was in the consciousness of see all good, hear all good, know all good? I could have ridden that wave somewhere else, used that energy somewhere else. So how many times, well, how many hundreds of thousands of times in our lives have we worried? Many of those times, let's say we're maybe about worrying about 1,000 times over one particular thing, right? So I'm inspired, and thank you again for, we need that reminder because we're human. Our brain wants to worry. Our mammalian brain wants to worry. So if anyone else has any insights around Jesse's lyrics or Rev Verona's talk, please share it out now. Or any other share outs. Linda.
Okay. From the get-go, from the time Jessie opened her mouth, it opened my heart. And I've been, I realized this week about this trying to figure things out, that when I was trying to figure things out, I was not surrendering and trusting in God or our higher power or whatever we want to call it. So the song was beautiful, perfect. What else did I want to say? Worry. David, you just mentioned worry. I like the quote about worrying is like sitting in a rocking chair. You're doing something, but you're not going anywhere. And also, because Verona always brings such joy and love and giggles to us, what I have a Jessie Powers quote that I love, and I'm hoping she'll say it herself about, what did you say? Anyway, it was something like, this is what she said that I remember, is that if you're not laughing at your whole self, you're missing a world of entertainment.
Yes, it was something like that. That was pretty close. I don't remember exactly that, but yes.
I've quoted it a lot, whether it's correct or not. So anyway, I think that's all I need to say. Thank you.
Love that. Love that. It's my own YouTube channel, laughing at myself. Vivian.
So this week, my brother, after one of his therapy sessions, was able to get himself out of his wheelchair and put himself into the bed.
Yay. Yay. We celebrate that.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Blessings, blessings. Anyone else? Let's see, I can't see everybody's screen. Okay.
David, there's a
Yes?
phone number. There's a phone number with a hand up.
Okay. And Vivian, you have anything else?
No, that was a mistake. I'm trying to get myself muted.
Okay. I'll mute you. Ready? Thank you. And thanks for sharing about your brother. Hey, everybody. Wonderful to see everyone's faces. And wait a minute, there's someone else. Who would it be, Janet? You're pointing a certain way, but it's different on my screen. So someone.
It's Connie. At least I am.
Oh,
Is anyone
Yeah,
else? Too?
Connie.
I just want to say I went to the healing sound meditation last evening, and just once the music started today, I just dropped into that same space again. And so restorative and so healing. So thank you for last night. Thank you for just continuing it on today, where we can just be in that healing phase. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I just have to look and see.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Deanna, Don.
You have to,
Yeah.
oh, you're unmuted.
Yeah, I was just thinking that I've had a lot going on in this past week and in this past few weeks. And I've basically had to give up a lot. And for a while, I was worried about all of that. And I just kind of sank into an acceptance of it. And as Jesse said, I'm not worried anymore. The doctors and my wife and my daughters have said, Dad, you got to give up driving. And instead of going and taking the driver's test a day ahead of my birthday this past week, I decided instead to give it up and go for a real ID. But there sits my car, the car that I have longed for and wished for years. And there it sits. And I'm beginning to figure out, although I'm not doing the figuring out, how that's going to be handled. And so there's just that and a whole host of other things that, because of changing physical conditions, that I say, well, I don't do that anymore. And it's not so much I can't do that anymore, although it's the truth, but I've chosen to say I don't do that anymore. But anyway, that's part of what occurred to me with that song.
Don, we support you and know that this is the right and loving solution for yourself. And we continue to hold you in prayer around that and around what kind of car is it?
Mustang.
Mustang.
Red, convertible.
Those ones get the most tickets.
I never got a ticket. I've had the car 14 years.
Yeah, been lucky.
I see some hands going up, and first was Wendy and then Jesse.
Thank you, Reverend Verona. Thank you, everyone. But during your talk, I heard that we hear all good, see all good, know all good. And then there was another 3, and I spaced out on the middle. Accept and expect, and then I spaced out, believe and consent. Did I miss something? Because that happens.
The middle one was praise and thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Thanks, Wendy. And Jesse.
I just want to say, I feel emotional. Just thank you so much for all of your kind words. Just even the small mentions of how things affect your day or penetrate your heart means so much to me as an artist, just to know that things that I write in my own little corner of my world resonate with other people, and just know that that never goes unnoticed or absorbed. Like, I really take that in, and it means a lot to hear it, and especially in moments when I'm doubting myself and doubting what I'm doing, because I definitely have those moments. So just want to say thank you for that.
You are a gift to the world, Jesse. You truly are. Reverend Verona.
Don, thank you for modeling such bravery, such courage, such knowingness within yourself. You inspire me. And thank you for giving each one of us an opportunity, or giving me an opportunity to know that as the years go by, that we are at choice, and those choices are the embrace of the choices and the opening to the choices is not nearly as challenging as I might think it's going to be. So thank you so much for being a role model. Thank you so much.
Thank you for saying that, Reverend Verona. And Mary.
I just wanted to say also to Dawn, thank you for sharing. It is a lot of courage. Thank you.
Okay. With that, we are complete. We're so blessed here. We are so, so blessed. And Denise, if you would pray us out.
Let's just breathe into our hearts the beautiful message of good and goodness. As we embrace our own goodness within ourselves, within our circumstances, we raise our awareness, our consciousness, to be able to see the good in others and see the good in the world. The one presence and one power is the eternal loving spirit, the goodness in everyone and everything. Gratitude fills our heart with joy, peace, calm, as we embrace the idea that there is nothing to worry about, and in truth, all is well. And so it is.